Drunkenness is the guardrail. There's a lot of things that could go on over there beyond the guardrail, but for you, it's time to set up a guardrail. It's time, because God would say this, I want you to, in your conscience, be convinced that for next week and next month, and when you go to the party, and when you're around the friends from work after work, and when you guys are hanging out, I want you, as a true follower of me, to get something. I want it to be seared into your conscience. I want you to have some standards for yourself. I'm not saying it has to be everybody else's standard, but for you who follow me as Christ, it's time to step up to the plate and face up to my will for you, that this is the boundary. And the boundary is, I'm not going to be drunk with wine. And you say, now what's the big deal about that? Why in the world? Because here's what God says. It is dangerous for you. There are things beyond. It's not just about what is going on with drunkenness. Somebody says, well, is drunkenness wrong? Well, yes. If you're for a believer in Jesus Christ, it's sin. But that's not the point. The point is, it's foolishness. The point is that it's unwise. The point is there should be a guardrail there because of what goes on the other side. And it has to do with this idea of debauchery. You say, well, what is that? Well, let me tell you here. The main issue that he's trying to get at here is about control and influence. Because the definition of debauchery is this. It is any kind of extreme indulgence that leads to being out of control. Right? And so he says, when you pass over that guardrail of drunkenness, you're into a place of being completely out of control. Your senses, your judgment, the way you live your life, you are out of control. And your Heavenly Father is against anything that would make you be out of control and out of the influence of God. Right? And so for some of us this morning, it is food. And food, you have become out of control, and you cannot realize this, but I want you to help you. I want to help you. You need a guardrail as it relates to food. For some of you, it is materialism and spending. And you need to understand that whether it's greed, or whether it's sex, or whether it's food, or whether it's alcohol, it doesn't matter. God says if there's anything that you're going to move into these bad arenas of being completely out of control, you've got to get it out of your life. And the way you get it out of your life is you establish a boundary. You establish a guardrail. You establish a place in your conscience where you say, I'm not going there. And that's what he's saying.